Hello, everyone, and welcome to our online interview series, Success Secrets to Parenting Teen Girls. I'm Tova Garr, and I'm an expert in supporting teen girls. If you'd like to know more about my work, you can go to tovagarr.com. But we're here today to talk to our wonderful, beautiful expert of the day, which is Lorraine Pursell, who is a life empowerment and confident coach, which believes in the fact that no matter what our past is, no matter what we come from or what we've done in our lives, what's really important is that we can all live a big life and we can do it today. So this is a choice that we can make, and she can help us make it happen. So welcome, Lorraine. So happy to have you with us today. How are you doing?
I'm great, Tova. So nice to connect with you and everybody on the call.
So nice. Yeah. I would love to get us started right away, since I know you have a tremendous amount to share with us. And one of the things I loved, I was looking at your ebook, which I know is very popular. Which is really about the 3 keys. I want to make sure that I'm saying it correctly. 3 keys and 13 tools to self-love. Yeah. And, self-love is something that I feel that most, definitely women that I meet struggle with, which always amazes me. I used to think that I was the only one when I was a kid. Right? I was the only one who was having this story. And so I was really excited to read it and enjoyed it a lot, by the way. And I would love if we could just start off, if you could share with us what the 3 keys are. What is this really all about? Why is this what you do?
Well, I really agree with you. And the reason I went into self-love, Tova, was because I'm a former counselor. My master's is in marriage, family, and child counseling. And I noticed that when I asked my clients, tell me 5 things you like about yourself, they couldn't do it. And I'm like, wait, there's something really wrong with this picture. So I wrote this ebook, and it's become my work the last 3 years to help people develop the art and the skill of self-love so that they can give their gifts. And specifically for the moms on the call, so you can help your teen daughters, right? Because this is a lot of what you probably know already, but these are the things that I'm going to encourage you to share with your daughter, especially as you take better care of yourself through the 3 keys, even though you know them already, just really honing those skills. So by your example, you can really make a difference in their life at this crucial time.
It's crucial time. And thank you for saying that, because I think sometimes, especially as we become adults, we forget that these teenagers are so critical, right? And often these are the years where we least love ourselves. Right? We're so influenced by everybody, we least.
Yes.
So what the mothers who are listening to us today, what they can do is tremendous to have their daughters. So why don't we get started?
Great. Sounds good. So the first key is to only do, see, hear, and be around what makes you feel good. I'm going to repeat that because I had to read it. Only do, see, hear, and be around what makes you feel good. Now, if you think about that for a second, that could eliminate a lot of people in situations. But when we allow ourselves to stay in something that makes us, we have funny energy with it, or we're feeling a little put down, or we're not feeling as confident, it's usually something coming from the other person or something about them that's mirroring off of them into you, because it's all within us anyway. So it just helps to not be around those people, even if it's family who put you down or say little digs or have sarcastic, critical humor, which is a really big one. Just get away. Begin to wean those people out of your life. In a situation where you're not feeling comfortable, walk away. Especially good for your teens, for you to help them know how they're feeling inside and when they're feeling good and who they're feeling good with. Because they're going to be in so many peer situations now where they might be feeling comfortable, and then someone whips out some drugs or some alcohol, and maybe they're like going, doesn't feel good. Do I have the courage to walk away, to leave? So only be around those things that feel good.
Yeah. Can I ask you to clarify something? You kind of put it, and I feel like it's a pretty important thing, was that what we're seeing in our world is mirroring back to us what we're actually seeing in ourselves, if I heard that correctly, right?
Yeah.
We you say a little bit more about that? Because I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are like, I'm a little
Yeah.
confused. It's not really about me. It's about them.
Yeah. Well, it's something I would love to deny myself because it's really annoying, right? Because, someone's acting agitated or someone's acting fearful or someone's being annoying and you're like, that's them. But there's something in you that's getting triggered, and that trigger is a key to what is going on inside. And if you just ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? And when is the earliest time that I remember feeling that? That's a lot of the inner child work that I do that you'll find out in the free ebook I'm going to be giving at the end of the talk here. That going into that inner little girl and saying, what was the earliest time that I remember feeling this? And you will track back to this time where you are a wounded little girl. That's where all those triggers come from. So people who are annoying are actually a gift to us because we get to see our triggers. If we're just around people who are just like us or really mellow like us, yeah, it feels really good. But it just gives us an opportunity to go, what is that triggering inside of me? I'm going to look within.
Yeah, and I feel like that's particularly important in that mother-daughter relationship, especially with teenagers.
Oh, yes.
Masters.
Yeah.
At triggering. So we're not advocating here, just in case anybody is wondering, we're not advocating you eliminating your daughter out of your life.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that, Tova.
Key number one, eliminate your daughter.
That's the one you need to have support to get closer to. Yeah.
Let me clarify that.
Yes.
Great. So go on.
Okay. So the second key is to honor your feelings and cue into your body. So as you teach your daughter to cue into her feelings, and as you hone this skill for yourself, like, am I feeling okay here? Am I not feeling okay here? Does this situation feel good to me or does it not feel good to me? I feel hurt when you said that. So that's going to be really important for your daughters to be able to identify how they're feeling. So when they're in that peer situation or they're with that boy on a date and he's trying to go too far and they're not feeling comfortable, but they're like not wanting to say no because they don't want to be unpopular. If you can help her through your example of honoring your own feelings and when it doesn't feel right and doesn't feel good and honoring those boundaries, you're going to be equipping her so much for the life that's ahead of her. I mean, yes. And be prepared. Some of this could come back on you.
Yeah.
So, the things that I'm sharing, as you give her that skill, you're going to be getting a little bit of kickback from her. But that's a great opportunity to go, thank you for showing this to me. Thank you for letting me know that offends you when I say that. Because I really want to honor your feelings. It doesn't mean you're going to roll over and play dead and let her do whatever, because you have your feelings to come back with too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Could you maybe share with us what that would look like, an example of what that process would look like?
Yeah, I'm really glad you said this. Well, let's say your daughter goes, I can't think of an example right now, but let's say she says something and you say something back to her. You say, you need to clean up your room. And your daughter goes, wow, when you said that, I felt hurt. What you do is you don't say, yeah, but you need to clean up your room, and I'm so sick of you not cleaning up your room, and I'm sick of you not helping out, and all the stuff that we go off on our kids. You go, stop and take a breath, step back, and center yourself, and gather all your energy, and just wait before you speak. And then say, oh, I'm sorry that what I said hurt your feelings, because I really honor your feelings. Now, when can you get your room cleaned up? I'd like it done before dinner. Can you do it before 5? So I've gotten commitment. I wasn't mean and snotty. I was treating her like a individual to be honored. And so that might go a little better. Does that clarify, Tova?
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And then the third key is to love yourself enough to walk away. And this is the biggest one. You know, we've all got situations in our lives as women where we're hanging on to people who, you know, we feel sorry for, or we feel dependent on, or they feel dependent on us, but they're really not healthy for us. If you can, by your example, teach your daughters that when it's not feeling good, to actually have the courage to get up and leave. There was a woman I worked with who said that her father had taught her, sorry for that long little string, it's better to be alone than to be with bad company. And so there could be a stage where your daughter could be alone, not with the popular crowd, not with all the people who attract all the attention. It's better to honor herself than to compromise herself and her own standards and her own morals and her own ethics of how they treat people, and just walk away and suffer those slings and arrows if you must, but to honor yourself enough to just walk away if it's not feeling good. So those are the 3 keys to self-love.
You know,
What's that?
No, I'm wondering on the third one.
Yeah.
How we transmit that message in a world for teenagers where they stand socially is so important to them. Because I've been working actually with a girl recently exactly on that, right? On needing to choose new friends, time for new friends. She knows that it doesn't feel right. She knows it's not supporting her. She knows it's bringing out the worst in her. And taking that step and stepping away is something she's really struggling with. So what can mothers really do to empower their daughters to know that it's going to be okay and they can do it?
Yeah.
Any tips there?
Yeah, if you can show her by your example that you walk away, and even though it hurts, it feels better to you. I mean, and to have her really cue into the pain and the turmoil that goes on inside of her when she's with this group, and how small she gets in comparison to how big they are, and start to really keep building who she is. And you can do things to do that by asking her to tell you how she feels, and to really anchor in your body. Where do you feel that feeling when you're with those friends? What's going on in your body? Do you feel it in your gut? Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel it in your head, in your hands? People tell me all kinds of different things where their body registers. Our body does not lie. Our body is the first indicator of discomfort and joy. And so when she knows she's not in a good situation, ask her how she felt. What was her body saying? And get highly sensitized to that feeling, and that becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And actually what that is our intuition. Yeah. That's huge, huge, huge. I go into that in a little more detail in the book. Yeah. But just as we pay attention to our body and our feelings, we heighten and strengthen our intuition, which is really all we have. We only have our intuition, I think.
Yeah, I call it our superpower.
Yeah, it is our superpower. And so especially, your little girl had it when she was littler, got kind of beat out of her through school and peers and relationships, people teasing her, making fun of her, criticizing her. And now it's time to help her bring it back. And you can do that best by doing that for yourself. What do you feel right now? When you feel angry, when you feel sad, when you feel lonely, where do you feel it in your body? How does your body speak to you? And then start to develop that with her, and start spending time with your daughter, just going over these things.
Yeah. And as you were saying, that our example is really so important.
It's the only thing, because otherwise our kids lose respect for us.
Yeah.
They can't respect what the do as I say, not as I do thing doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, and it definitely doesn't work for teenagers. They see it all and are happy to tell you.
Yeah.
To point it out.
Yes, and that's a good thing, because it gives us a chance to go, oh, reality check. I mean, my son called me a hypocrite, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, you're right. And because I was able to not be defensive when he would tell me these things, we're still very good. I just got off the phone with him. He's 37, father of 4 kids. So, you know, if we can develop the skill of not alienating our daughters, and when they come to us practicing these skills, because they will practice these skills first on you. And I know that's hard and it's going to be uncomfortable. But as you can do that and be vulnerable and be disclosing of your own feelings, yeah, well, sorry, I got a little defensive there, and apologize. Yeah. It's huge for bringing that closeness.
Yeah, yeah, and creating that connection.
It's the ultimate, yes.
Great. So we started with the 3 keys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering what mothers who are listening to us right now can do to really help their daughters love and respect themselves, because at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about, right? And the keys are really steps that are helping us get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know mothers are always like, just tell me what to do.
Yes. Well, great, because in the ebook, there's the 3 keys I just mentioned, but there are also 13 tools that are perfect to start practicing. And I just outlined a few of them here. But one of them would be to ask your daughter regularly, what are things you like about yourself? And you just sit there and listen and go, yes, yes, yes. Do this regularly. And you do it too. Well, I like my smile. I like my hair. I like that I have a good personality. I like that I care about others. And I really like my body. And I'm so proud of myself because I'm working out now. Mm-hmm. So foster that, which in our culture, this is why self-love is, people say they have self-love, but they don't. It's pardon my language, it's crap, because they don't. They aren't loving themselves. It's like this milk toast. Yeah. It's like, no, really get in there, because this is what we need as equipment in our society today. We really need to appreciate and love who we are, so that we don't get sideways. We don't get washed out by the media and by peers. So ask your daughter every day 5 things you like about yourself. And then you tell her 5 things you like about yourself. Mm-hmm. Validating, huge.
I really love that. Can I give a small side note for a second?
Yes.
So there was research that was done on teen girls. And one of the questions that was asked was self-esteem. Right? Mm-hmm. What is self-esteem? It was 2,000 girls, 1,999 got it wrong. Mm. They all thought that self-esteem was what other people thought about them.
Oh.
That's where it stemmed from. They knew that it was important that they had good self-esteem, right? This was important. But 1,999 girls thought that it came from an outside source versus from themselves, right? So, and that so connects to me to what we're talking about right now. And so by doing the exercise that you're providing and you're suggesting, we're teaching them to acknowledge what it is that they love about themselves and where are they good, because that's what's important, right? It's not what anybody else says. It's who are you and what do you know that is true about you? So thank you for that.
Yeah, and this was so wonderful about having a teenage girl. Actually, I didn't have a girl, I had a boy, so I'm not speaking experientially, but with the women I work with, it's like, what an opportunity to have your mirror present to you your own insecurities so that you can go to work with loving yourself more deeply and appreciating yourself more deeply. And, you know, you might not be able to say these things to other people because other people misconstrue that as conceited. And I'm just going to go, beep wrong. That's not conceited. That is you having healthy feelings about yourself. Because if you don't appreciate and love yourself, you have nothing to give. Your power just goes down to because of that thing you were saying, Tova, about what are other people mirroring back to you. We've got to be strong enough to go, okay, I know you don't like that, but I'm still going to be true to myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I can't wait for the next one.
Okay. So positive input. So be sure that you give your daughter positive input. You know, oh, I like how you did that. I like your outfit. I like how you put the outfit together today. I like your hair, how you did that. I like how you did your homework. Mm-hmm. Thank you for helping me with the dishes. Even if it's her job, thank you for helping me with the dishes. This positive input is really important, and to make sure that there's only positive input coming into ourselves. You know, with TV, social media, it can be devastating. You know, one of the other tools is to wash our brains, and our brains need washing. My brain needs washing. I wash my brain by not getting it polluted with news and tragedies and lower nature people and things that they do, like the Jerry Springer show, or, you know, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I'm interested in elevating my spirit and going in an upward spiral with my energy. And that's what I teach my clients to do. So positive input and making sure that you're washing your brain by not polluting it with so much inundation of media is good. Like maybe, you know, when the kids come home after dinner, all the social media, all the tools are confiscated, and there's like quiet time. There's actually some reading time, family reading time without the television, so that there's that bonding.
Yeah. So is washing basically avoiding in quiet time, or is there a way to take what's already been downloaded in there, so to speak, and kind of let it go, or let it, you know, release whatever it is?
Were you asking about not about more input being okay?
In terms of, like, so I'm thinking about the concept of washing, right, my brain. And so I know that in certain times that's easier for me to do, right? And definitely as an adult, it's easier for me to remove myself from certain situations, or say, you know what, I know this is going on. I want the real objective information. I'm not spending my time on the rest of the nonsense, right? I'm going to remove myself. As teenagers, sometimes that's a lot harder to do, right? At school, rumors and all the stuff that's going around. So I'm wondering if there's a way to do that process of washing your brain, even if you have no choice but to be in a space which is overwhelming you with information, which you may even know instinctively you don't want to be a part of.
Which would be every day at school.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so it is really tuning in. How do I feel? Do I feel sick to my stomach right now? Why do I feel sick to my stomach? Oh yeah, it's that guy and how he's treating that kid mean. And that doesn't feel good to me. So as you, again, teach your daughters to hone in with their bodies when they're not feeling comfortable, what is it? Get away from it. It's like an inner Geiger counter. Beep, 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 beep. Move away. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, now I'm in more calm. I'm where I feel safer. I'm where I feel more comfortable.
Okay, thank you. That was helpful.
Did that answer that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
So another tool is to be kind to you. So teach your daughter to be kind to herself. You know, does she need water? Does she need to make a cup of tea? Does she need to not respond to the comment on Facebook? Does she need to not be on Facebook so much, or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever? Just, you know, what is this feeling good to me? Because I really think we have lost the quietness and the stillness. So I think it's a great idea after dinner that all the tools are confiscated and there is quiet time, because our kids aren't getting sleep. They're getting highly ADD because of all the interaction, and they need that decompression time. That means you too. You know, could there be a time where you aren't on the computer late at night so that you can actually sleep well?
I would definitely say that's something that I know that we as adults need to model better. Blame our kids for being online all the time and being super connected. But if I'm honest, this little friend of mine right here and the other friend on which we are speaking right now are attached to me in ways that I would have never imagined before. So for sure.
It's interesting because what we're attached to is the people in it. The people stories and the connection to people. When you say connection, it's so interesting that that's what we're after. And that's so important. And I think the biggest connection is our connection to ourselves. Because we can get so lost in that sea. There's no direction there. It's just endless. It's just endless. If you just analyze yourself for a week, what direction are you going? You know, come back to connecting to yourself and closing that down so that you can have that quiet time to really commune inside, commune with your maker, universe, whatever it is, source, higher power. Feel that connection. that's where all of our strength comes for the upward spiral that I'm talking about, where our emotions go up and up and up. The antithesis of depression, which is rampant now.
Yeah.
And I think it's correlated. The amount of time that we're not connected to ourselves and our deep inner voice, and the more we're connected to distractions.
Yeah. And, I so resonate with that. And I love what you're saying. And I think that that's relevant for us as adults, extremely. Mm-hmm. And even more so for your teens. I like to talk about our teenagers as walking and on a constant earthquake. That's kind of what it feels like to be a teenager. Right? The ground is always shaking. Things are always changing. You feel like you're out of control in the same way that when there's an earthquake, you're completely out of control, right? You don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah. And I think that the tools and the skills that you're offering really will allow our teens, if we can help our daughters with this, to feel more grounded and feel more secure in who they are. So that earthquake is, just a small one, not this huge earthquake that is shaking the world and leading, like you said, to depression and all the other things that we see out there. So I think this is and we have time for one more key before our time runs out. So what's your favorite?
Okay, well, my favorite actually is to ask, what does my body need right now? We are so in our heads and so disconnected from our bodies, and it might need to rest, might need to put our foot up, might need to have a cup of tea, might need to just close our eyes. What does my body need right now? Huge, because we're so disconnected to our bodies. Most of us just live from here on up. We've cut off our entire body. I know I did. It took me years to get integrated with my body again. But, does it need rest? So really tune in and ask your body, what do you need from me right now? What can I do for you? More water, that piece of fruit. That's my favorite, because it really gets you back to yourself.
Yeah.
Gets you back to yourself.
To yourself and to all parts of who you really are. I resonate with that a lot, because I do the same thing.
Yeah, good. Glad. Yeah.
And I find that it's amazing when you ask the question and you start listening, what is it that you hear? And it's not always what you expect. Not always what you expect, for sure. So what I would love to ask you to do at this point is share with everybody the free gift that you have, as well as how they can find you and get in touch with you if they want to hear more about the work that you do.
Awesome. Well, you can get the free ebook I've been talking about at www.3keys, like you put in your car, to selflove.com. So the number 3 keys to selflove.com. And so go there, just put in your name and email address. You'll get my ebook, and you'll also be on my email list. We'll be in communication, and we can stay in touch that way. Yeah. Or you can go to LorrainePursell.com. I have my TV show. I have TV shows from NBC on parenting tips in there for every week for the last year. So just go to TV and events on LorrainePursell.com. There's a lot of free resources there.
That's fantastic. And do you want to share with people, just so they're clear, I mean, we've been talking about the keys, so I think people have a pretty good idea what's in there. But if somebody's still saying, well, I'm not really sure, what's going to happen when they, download that free gift? What are they going to see?
Well, when they download the free gift, they're going to get a PDF, about 22 pages of me telling my story, so that you feel more comfortable. Because as well as being a former counselor, now coach, I went through all of this myself. Ravaged self-esteem, absolute zero. I had none. When I think about it, I had zero, none. Now I'm on TV every week. So I mean, I'm just saying that if I can do it, you can do it, no matter where you are. So the book goes into my story, how I came back up out of the valley of despair, and how I got there, and how I've helped women over the last 20 years to do that too.
Yeah, and I appreciate you mentioning your story. We didn't have time to talk about it today. But I would encourage everybody to actually go to your website and learn more about who you are, because I think it's an incredible and inspiring story. And, when I was presenting you at the beginning, I actually meant it. I think that what you stand for, what you believe, is that it doesn't matter where your past was, right? And anything right this moment backwards doesn't really matter. It matters where you're going, where you want to be. And there is nothing that we can't achieve. It doesn't exist.
Absolutely.
Choose that we're willing to put in the work to make it happen. And as you said, being willing to live in that uncomfortable of looking at ourselves.
And that's the key, because we can't get there until we do love ourselves and appreciate ourselves. We can't even bring our gifts out to begin living our great big life.
Yeah. No.
So, beginning. This is the start. And if you can start with your daughters now, they have such a chance.
Yeah.
And they'll go on to inspire their friends. Mm-hmm. And they will go on to choose better partners because they value themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do what I do.
Awesome, Tova. I love what you do.
Starting early. So thank you so much for being with us today, Lorraine. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate so much you inviting me to be on this summit with you, Tova. And thank you so much for what you're doing. And I just want to express an appreciation to all of the mothers that are watching this call, and just send love and blessings to you. And if I can be of any service, I'm very happy to help out in any way.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure everyone has learned a tremendous amount from today. I know that I have. It's been wonderful. So thank you. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in today and listening to us. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful day in the meantime. Bye.
Bye.